Everyone you trust is testing you right now. Not openly. Not honestly. Silently. Carefully. The way a predator circles before it strikes. And the worst part? You passed their test, and you don't even know what you gave up. There's a game being played around you every single day. No rule book. No warning. No referee. Just people, your friends, your partner, your coworkers, sometimes even your family, quietly probing for the one thing they can use against you later. Your weakness. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at a casual conversation the same way again. Because once you see the patterns, you can't unsee them. Stay with me. This gets deep. Section 1. The kindness trap. Here's the first way people test you, and it's disguised as something beautiful. They do something nice for you. Unexpectedly. Without being asked. Sounds sweet, right? But here's the truth. That random act of kindness? It's often a diagnostic tool. Psychologists call it reciprocity probing. When someone does something for you, your brain is hardwired to feel debt. It's evolutionary. Ancient. You can't override it with logic. And they know this. So they give you something small, a favor, a compliment, inside information, and then they watch. Do you acknowledge it? Do you overthink them? Do you immediately try to give something back? Each reaction tells them exactly where your insecurities live. If you overthink them, you're starved for validation. If you immediately reciprocate, you hate owing people, you're easy to pressure. If you ignore it entirely, they'll try a different method. Real life scenario. Your coworker, the one who's always a little too helpful, covers for you one afternoon. Casually. No big deal, they say. 2 weeks later, they ask you for something you'd normally say no to. And you say yes. Not because you wanted to. Because you owed them. That wasn't kindness. That was an investment. Most people never notice this until it's already too late. Section 2, the fake vulnerability test, and this is where it gets dangerous. Someone opens up to you. They tell you something personal. Something that feels raw. Intimate. Like they're trusting you with a piece of themselves. And your instinct is to match that energy. So you open up too. This is called vulnerability mirroring, and it's one of the most sophisticated emotional traps ever designed by human behavior. Here's how it works. They offer you a fake wound. Something that sounds deep but costs them nothing. A vague childhood story. A manufactured insecurity. A fear they've already made peace with. And in return, you offer them a real one. Your actual fear. Your actual pain. Your actual limit. Now they have something real. Something they didn't have before. Watch for this pattern. The person who always seems to go second in emotional conversations. Who says, "Wow, I feel the same way," right after you share something personal. They're not connecting with you. They're cataloging you. The emotional trigger here is validation. You feel seen. You feel understood. And that feeling? It makes you lower every wall you've spent years building. But here's the truth nobody talks about. Real vulnerability is spontaneous. It's uncomfortable even for the person sharing it. It doesn't arrive perfectly timed, perfectly worded, right after you just shared something deep. If it does, you're being read, not heard. Section 3, the pressure test, how they find your breaking point. Everyone has a breaking point. A threshold where they stop being rational and start being reactive. And the people who want power over you? They need to know exactly where yours is. So they push. Not hard. Not obviously. They push just enough to watch you wobble. A small criticism delivered casually. You seem a little off today. A joke that's slightly too sharp. No offense, but a minor inconvenience they could have avoided. Being 5 minutes late. Forgetting something you mentioned. These aren't accidents. They're calibrated. They're measuring the gap between what bothers you and what breaks you. Real life scenario.
Music licensing.
Your partner mentions, casually, that your friend made a comment about you. Nothing major. Just a small thing. They're not even sure it meant anything. But you can't stop thinking about it. 2 days later, your partner brings it up again. Still casually. Just checking in. And now you're spiraling. You've just told them everything they needed to know. You're sensitive to what others think of you. You ruminate. You can't let it go. That's not a relationship moment. That was a stress test. And the data? Stored. Referenced later. Used precisely when they need you off balance. This is where the fear trigger lives. Because once you realize people you love might do this, it changes everything. Not paranoia. Just clarity. Section 4. The silence experiment. Here's one most people completely miss. Silence. Not the comfortable kind. The deliberate kind. Someone goes quiet on you. They pull back. Responses get shorter, energy shifts. And they give you no reason why. Most people can't handle this. They reach out, they apologize, sometimes for things they didn't even do. They over-explain. They try to fix something they don't even understand. And that reaction? Pure gold for someone who's testing you, because what you do in the silence tells them whether you're secure or anxious. Whether you need their approval to function. Whether you can be controlled simply by withholding. Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement probing. Hot and cold. Present and absent. And the person being tested almost always chases the warmth. Real life scenario. A friend you've been close to for years suddenly becomes less available. No fight. No obvious reason. Just distance. You text twice. 3 times. You wonder what you did. Then they reappear. Warm. Normal. Like nothing happened. And you're so relieved that you don't even ask what happened. You just rebuild the connection as fast as you can. That relief? That desperate need to restore the bond? That told them you need them more than they need you. And in the psychology of power, that imbalance is everything. Section 5, the boundary erosion method. This one is slow. Patient. Almost invisible. And it's the most dangerous of all. It starts with something small that they know crosses a line. A comment that's slightly too personal. A favor that's slightly too big to ask. A joke that lands just wrong enough to sting. They watch your reaction. If you hold the boundary, if you say, hey, that's not okay, they retreat. They apologize. They seem genuinely embarrassed. But they note that the boundary is there. And then they come back. A week later. A month later. With something slightly smaller. Slightly more acceptable. They chip away, slowly, until what once felt like a violation now feels normal. This is called the foot in the door technique. Run in reverse. Instead of asking for more and more, they're normalizing more and more. Recalibrating your sense of what's acceptable. Real life scenario. A coworker makes an off-color joke about your personal life. You laugh it off, slightly uncomfortable. They see that. Next month, they ask a personal question that's way too invasive. You answer, but you feel strange afterward. 6 months later, they're discussing your private life with others. And you don't even know how it got here. Every boundary you didn't defend became a door they walked through. And the curiosity trigger here is this: how many doors are already open in your life right now that you don't even remember unlocking? Section 6. The loyalty paradox test. People don't test loyalty by asking for it. They manufacture a crisis. A moment where loyalty has a cost. Where standing by someone means standing against something else. Your comfort. Your reputation. Your interests. That's the only real loyalty test. Because loyalty that costs you nothing means nothing to them. So they create situations. Subtly. A conflict that puts you in the middle. A choice that has no clean answer. A moment where you have to pick a side. And they watch which side you pick. But here's the dark twist nobody talks about. Sometimes they're not the one you're being tested on behalf of. Sometimes you're being tested to see whether you'll stay loyal to them even when they're wrong. That's not loyalty testing. That's control training. Real life scenario. Your close friend gets into a conflict with someone you also know. They want you to cut off the other person. No room for nuance. No space for your relationship with both of them. Pick a side. Now, if you comply, you've just demonstrated that social pressure overrides your judgment. If you refuse, you've just shown them that you have principles they can't easily override. Both responses give them information. The question is, are you aware of what you're communicating? Section 7. The final test. Your reaction to being caught. Here's the deepest level. The one that happens after everything else. At some point, intentionally or not, people reveal that they've been watching you. A comment that shows they remember something you only mentioned once, casually, months ago. A moment where they reference a pattern in your behavior that you never explicitly told them. A knowing look when you react exactly the way they predicted. And in that moment, they're watching your reaction to being seen. Do you get defensive? Do you laugh it off? Do you go quiet? Do you feel violated? Flattered? Scared? Because your reaction to being perceived, truly, accurately perceived, is the final data point. It tells them whether you're self-aware, whether you're dangerous, whether you're safe to keep close or necessary to keep at a distance. Most people feel flattered when someone really gets them. But some people get them, so they can get to them. Here's what no one wants to say out loud. You have done this too. Maybe not deliberately. Maybe not maliciously. But you have tested people. You've said something to see how they'd react. You've gone quiet to see if they'd chase. You've watched someone's eyes when they thought no one was looking. Because this isn't about good people and bad people. This is about human nature. We are all, at every moment, reading each other, measuring each other, filing away data points like silent analysts of everyone we care about. The difference, the only difference, between connection and manipulation is what you do with the information. Do you use it to protect yourself? Or to protect the relationship? Do you use it to understand someone? Or to control them? That question changes everything. And the people who never ask it, they're the most dangerous ones in any room. You came here thinking this was about other people. But now you know, it's about all of us. The tests never stop. The observations never stop. The quiet, constant reading of each other that makes human connection both the most beautiful and most terrifying thing that exists. So the next time someone does something unexpectedly kind, the next time a friend goes mysteriously quiet, the next time someone shares something personal right after you do, pause. Don't react. Observe. Because now you know the game. And knowing the game is the only real protection you have. If this changed how you see people, you're not the same person you were 12 minutes ago. Watch it again. You missed something the first time.